Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Nerds of the Roundtable, recorded October 22nd, 2016. This week, no video. Our disappointment. I know. We're getting there. So close.
Next week.
Yeah.
Perhaps? Question mark?
We'll have an update later in the show, so join us as we dig into some Google stuff. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So join us as we dig deep into Nerds of the Roundtable. All right. I am Eric, your host, and to my right, I have Sean DeVault.
You do indeed. And to my right, who's that?
It's Jake Farbach.
What?
2 times in a row.
Back to
Two times.
back?
Back from the dead.
What is happening right now? This is
up?
exciting.
This is going to be great.
This is
I'm going to enjoy this.
2 highest rated podcasts ever right now.
Yeah.
People at home are excited.
Oh, I can hear
hear
them.
them.
I can hear them.
Yeah.
They have no idea, but they know.
I can feel it.
There's a
warm.
disturbance.
Warm.
It is hot here in
up, Jacob?
Southern California. So, quick update on the podcast. For those who haven't listened to the last episode, we'll have a quick recap. I will temporarily be posting to Podomatic for the next couple weeks until everyone gets transitioned over to either Google or iTunes podcasts or to our website. Yay!
Oh my God.
We have a real website. It
This is
is
exciting.
nerdspodcast.tech. Join us there, and there should be an RSS feed. You can click on individual episodes, listen there. There's a little bit about us. You can submit questions there on the website.
Is there a little about me on there?
Not specifically,
Okay, just us.
just us in general.
I'll be part of us.
Yeah. It was how we met each other or whatnot, that type of thing. So we're also going to be posting some blogs, kind of written reviews. We're going to start doing some video reviews, hopefully here in the near future.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Hopefully next week, cross the fingers, we'll do a recorded video show, perhaps live if we can swing it. We'll see what happens. So that's the big thing there. We got all the equipment, hopefully, that we need. I think the only thing we got left that would, table. Finish the set.
Yeah.
Other than that,
We have some creative assets to create.
yeah.
So we're working on that logo.
Yeah. That's going to be good. If you guys have ideas, feel like being creative, you can submit those too at contact@nerdspodcast.tech.
Mm-hmm.
You can contact us there or through the form on the website. Do that. Get questions, comments, concerns, or through Facebook, Nerds of the Roundtable Podcast. As I said, Google Play and iTunes. So,
iTunes?
yeah, all
For
that
those
fun
of
stuff.
you that still use iTunes?
Pretty much everybody. Any of your favorite
Maybe.
podcatcher, you can take the RSS feed, copy and paste it into that podcatcher. Listen to it there. Oh yeah, good stuff. So this week we're gonna talk some Google stuff. There's some really exciting stuff on Google.
Things happened.
Before we get into that, we can quickly just announce that the new Amazon Fire TV 4K came out. No, Roku. Sorry.
Roku's.
Yeah,
there
Roku.
we go.
Yeah, Roku did 4K.
Yeah, like
That's
4 of them.
Yeah, that's exciting. I know nothing more, so we can kind of go on from there.
I'll give you the breakdown. Don't worry about that.
Jacob, do you know? Do you know what that?
I know nothing about that.
Nope.
Damn
nope.
it.
New Roku's.
Damn it!
So
If it's not made by Google, it's not important to me.
that's true. Well, Roku is like the #1 streaming stick, surprisingly, or set-top box. Like
There you
they beat Apple TVs for set-top box. Like
I mean, there's no surprise.
content creation type box. Yeah, their price points are really good.
Yeah.
So they have a 4K like streaming stick for $70. Then they have a 4K with HDR box for $100, and then they have like an advanced model of that, I think, for $130 that comes with a special like remote or something for controllers for games. But pretty much 4K at $70 and HDR at $100 for Roku's. That's it.
Apple's got an event next week, I believe.
Oh, 27th, I think. So in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Ish? What's the date?
It's going to be a MacBook event. It's the 22nd.
22nd?
So
That's
it'll be
5
next
days.
week.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, next Thursday?
Ooh, think maybe we can get a 4K Apple TV out of them?
I would hope so, but I doubt
Maybe.
it.
That's
It's
one.
too soon. They just announced their last one, it seems like.
Does it?
I mean, they need to. I mean, if they want to catch up to everything else. But it's going to be mostly computers, like MacBooks and stuff like that. It's not going to be
Yeah, that's one of the things. Well,
OS TV.
that we will mention later deeper into, but for Google Play, like Google Play Store, where you'd buy media on an Android phone,
Yeah.
there will have 4K content purchases starting in November.
Oh.
So they're all caught up with content as well.
That's cool. Good for them.
I know iTunes needs to jump on
Dude,
that
I
shit.
know. They also need to catch up on... I know they have the capabilities. They need to start either doing streaming or able to purchase, download uncompressed audio files. Because they store everything as uncompressed, but you can only download it as compressed.
I thought there's like an Apple lossless codec, but you can't purchase it that way. I know you could purchase. Is it everything now? I remember when they transferred over where you could pay money to have things be DRM free. Do they have
All of
is that
their
standard
music,
now?
all of their music, as far as I know, falls under right to play. So is anything that follows the right to play standard, then you can, like, Plex follows right to play.
Yep.
So I can play all my iTunes music that I've bought and play it on Plex without the fear of DRM.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah,
Rock on.
we want that 4K from iTunes.
I
Do
know.
it.
But yeah,
Do it.
what we really need is just a 4K drive for computers, so you can rip it straight to Plex. Bala bala. Ooh,
Then standards for hard drives need to increase for storage size, though.
we're getting there. We're getting there pretty good, especially with the helium drives. I mean, the Seagate drives are jumping up in storage.
Pricey, though.
Solid state drives are starting to get to the point to where they're really price competitive. We're getting there. We're getting close.
I don't know about that. I think the 2 terabyte 960 Pro is like $1,300.
Which
Like
isn't bad.
$1,299 is the price of a computer for most people.
Sucks to be those people.
At 2 terabytes, where like a 6 terabyte Western Digital Black is like $300. So
We all know Sean. He likes it black.
I like my coffee like I like my hard drives.
wow,
I like
well played.
I like my red, like my beer.
Yeah, those NAS drives.
Yeah. God, I gotta spend money on that. So
But just
bad.
for the record, like, let's think about, when the first CD drive came out, how much did it cost? It was
Yeah.
like $600 or
Yeah.
$800.
Oh yeah,
And then a couple years later, how much did it cost?
Yeah.
50. And then now, how much can you get a CD drive for?
Oh, I know. I remember
20
like
bucks?
finally getting like a Walkman that would play MP3 CDs.
Oh,
Just being able to do
shit.
that.
That's a
God, I
revolution.
remember that thing. It was blue and silver. I have the CD to the software still.
Wow.
Trying to figure that out and finally going, oh, if I move this slider, I mean, I get to fit 100 more songs onto this.
What?
And then finally going, wait, why does this sound terrible?
Yeah, that's one of my buddies. He bought a new CD player for his car, and that was one of the features of a CD player was he played MP3,
MP3 CDs?
So
Oh,
we
yeah.
had an 80s mix. My God.
Oh, I know.
It's like 140 songs. Oh, man, we rocked it so hard.
Good days.
Good old MP3 CDs.
Then I finally got my first MP3 player. It was a Walkman too. That was kind of cool.
MP3 player?
Yeah, it was like the size of like a piece of gum.
Like the old school iPod Shuffle?
No, like it was like an inch wide, about 3 inches long ish,
Oh, yeah,
about
that's a lot bigger.
half-inch thick or something. No, it was smaller than. Well, I mean
No, the iPod
the
Shuffle.
long shuffle.
The shuffle that was the long stick. It
Yeah.
looked like a pack of
Yeah,
gum.
it was a little bit thick. It was about smaller than that.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It had a little LCD screen on it. You could sit. It was a pain in the ass to navigate trying to find the song you wanted,
Yeah.
but
I think my first
512 megabytes.
one was probably iPod Photo, the 60
Yeah.
gig 60 gig iPod Photo with the
Yeah, the scroll wheel. Yeah,
yeah.
I had the video right before they discontinued the classic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not right before, but
Jake, what about you? What was your first MP3
did you have
player?
iPods or did you go Zune?
I had one from
That was
eBay.
a really good device, by the way, but continue.
Yeah, I did like the Zunes.
Zune
Now, by the
HD.
time I could afford an MP3 player, I had an iPod knockoff from eBay, like a Chinese one, and it got the job done.
MP3 players, good old times.
Now we got to chime in. Producer, what was your first MP3 player?
Did you have an iPod or did you do a?
Talking to this.
My first.
First MP3 player. So something you'd like plug into headphones and play digital files from.
Not CD player, but. Or did you ever have one?
The original first ever iPods that were super heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one's the heavy.
Was it a color screen or was it like a green
Gray.
screen?
It was a gray screen.
Gray screen with black text?
Yeah, and then you had the circle.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
is the-
classic.
That is the original iPod.
Yeah.
Original iPad.
Wow.
Original iPod. That's what I had.
Look at you.
Those are pricey back in the day too. That's
They
fun.
were.
And they were heavy. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Having to go running.
They were
Oh,
thick.
God.
And I would
Bouncing
have
around.
to. Yeah.
Ugh.
Now those little tiny little shuffles that you don't even know they're clipped to you anymore.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Gosh, do people even buy those anymore? Since everything's on, everyone listens to Spotify now, so I would think MP3 player sales have declined substantially since people have smartphones.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, as a special case, I've thought about buying one just for going on because I don't want to carry my phone and stuff on a walk. It's if I have something super light that I can just throw in my pocket that I don't even know it's there and just stick a
Yeah.
playlist on shuffle.
But you could also get an Apple Watch, pair AirPods to it, and then
But it won't work offline
why not?
because it's Apple. You have to
yeah.
have a phone if you want to play any music.
It doesn't have local storage for music.
No, not that I've
What
ever
a
seen.
terrible product. Now I know on my watch, which is 2 years old for Android Wear, Gen 1 Moto 360, I have 4 gigs of storage, and I have
Yeah.
local audio stored that pairs directly to my Bluetooth headphones, so I can just play music off my watch to my headphones wirelessly.
Oh, and that'd be perfect. If you had a watch, you could pair it to your headphones, store it there, and especially a new one that has GPS.
Yep, and no phone.
But I agree with him. After the iPhones came out, I no longer needed to purchase an iPod
Yeah.
or
There's no need to.
for it. Your phone could do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the markets. That is the one product category for Apple that's consistently declined is iPod sales
Well,
as iPhone sales have risen.
And I think that's a good reason why they probably made the lowest cost iPhone 8 gigs or 16 gigs was
Boo.
to try and push the sales because most of the time it was either photos or music.
And the operating system and apps.
Well, most of the time it's photos or music. It's taking up the most space on your phone. And so if you can make something keep it small storage, then it's going to drive sales. You're not failing, but you're declining iPod.
Yeah. An iPod Touch was very well designed too.
Oh yeah, if they still make it, I would buy one for Mackenzie, 100%. Put it in a case. It allows her when she's on Wi-Fi, watch YouTube. She can listen to music, play games. It's a perfect thing, and it doesn't make calls. I can control what's on there because I know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Parental controls, hell yeah.
So with that, I don't know because I don't have an iPhone, but with the decline of actually managing, do you still Do you think the majority of iPhone users still use iTunes? Like, especially with the rise of Spotify and Google Music and like
Not on a
iTunes and all those
computer.
things. Because they'll use the app on the phone because they're forced to. That's the media player. But like from a computer, like especially since you don't have to sync wired anymore. Like you used to have to plug into your computer to sync everything. But now with wireless,
No.
like, do you think iTunes is really relevant on PCs anymore?
No. Not at all. And
It's like Windows Media Player. It's like
exactly.
never. It ships with it. Don't need it.
I mean,
Don't
Jacob,
use
what
it.
do you use any type of like media player?
Spotify.
You don't use any like
Nothing else.
Fubar or
Or
VLC
for video.
Very few occasions, but
Yep.
otherwise just Spotify for everything, YouTube for video, Spotify for music.
Yep. Very interesting the times we live in.
yeah, no.
Which makes it difficult for iTunes for 4K will be specifically for Apple TVs for that store.
Yeah.
They'll also be interested to see if they allow downloads or do only streaming. Because the current iTunes is stream only, right? There's no purchase. It's just rentals. Or is it purchase and stream only with no downloads?
For what, music or
For video.
no video you can purchase?
Can you download it to play offline, or is it just stream?
No.
You can't download it? Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure of. Because I know, like, for Google Play, I'll download movies to store locally because I have a 128 gig SD card, so I can fucking save $1 million. And then I'll use them offline for when I travel, like on planes and stuff. Super convenient.
But you got Plex now, so.
That is true.
Speaking of Plex update. I can't remember if we talked about this last week or not.
What?
The Amazon update for beta.
Ooh, I don't think we've ever mentioned this.
Okay, so in the past week or so, Plex has announced, as you all know, Plex is our favorite, personal Netflix. They have announced that they are now capable of using a Amazon Drive account as your Plex server. Amazon Drive is like $30 a year.
I think it's more. I think it's 60, but it's unlimited
60?
storage.
Yeah.
So there's no data cap on it.
Nope.
How fast is it?
That's the question.
Yeah, that and I'm a little worried about kind of the ISPs handling, like something for us. Like if I'm uploading, 20 terabytes of data in however long that would take, I'm sure it would take freaking forever. But will my ISP say, hey, you're uploading way too much. What the hell are you doing? You're torrenting. We're going to block you. We're going to throttle you. We're doing something to you because you're using so much upload and no one uses upload.
Yeah.
So that's one of my concerns, actually, implementing and using it.
Yeah.
But it would be awesome to not affect my upload speed for other people on my friends list to view my server.
Well, and that's the thing that you don't know is what caps and stuff that Amazon puts you under, and that's a real question, and that's what we don't know because right now it's only available to Plex Pass members in beta. You have to request access to it. And it's going to be something, I mean, I think it's a really cool option, especially once they work out the kinks. It's going to be super amazing. It's a great option. I would still much rather have my own server because I can do much more with my own server than I can with Amazon storage. But if you want something that just get up and going with like 10 movies and like a huge music library, sure, go right ahead. Upload that stuff. I'm sure it's not tagged as a torrent type data, and so it shouldn't be much of an issue, but we'll see. Because I think most like Comcast and stuff like that, they do a cap on download. I don't think on upload.
What, data caps for download per month?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple providers that actually do cap you.
Yeah, it's really
for
annoying.
download speeds. I have Time Warner. I don't think I do. But more news. I'm sure you both know about this.
Yes.
AT&T is purchasing Time Warner.
They're in talks.
In talks of purchasing Time Warner
They're not going to.
for about $80 billion.
Jesus.
I can't. I don't even know how much money that is. That's just so much.
You make that in about a year.
How amazing would that be?
Jacob's a programmer.
So AT&T recently purchased DirecTV to kind of broaden their media empire because it was all, AT&T is based on phones, mobile service, some terrible internet. Then they purchased DirecTV to get into satellite, and now they're going for Time Warner for their media empire. So that'll be HBO, Warner Brothers Pictures, Time Warner Cable for internet.
Yep.
Should be everything under the Time Warner banner, which would be pretty huge. They're saying it's the largest, the biggest thing to happen to the industry since, what was it? NBC Universal got purchased by Comcast.
Yeah. Comcast is a huge company. Mm-hmm. But that should be interesting. Speaking of purchases, Razer, as in the peripheral manufacturer, has bought THX.
What will they do with it? Let's think.
Who knows?
I'm
Make
thinking
really loud noises that make your pets run away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're in the video industry right now. I mean, in peripherals, they've got all your mice, keyboard. They've got a couple wearables. They've got laptops. But they don't have sound cards.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to make a really good THX certified sound card and be
Or do headphone DACs, USB DACs.
well, yeah, that's what.
Do those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Be able to certify your own laptops. Oh, the new Razer laptop.
Oh, that's what I want to say. I'm like, they're not a peripheral company when you have the new Razer Blade Pro out there. Actually, the Razer
so
Blade,
sick.
the 14-inch Razer Blade is already crazy sick. With the Razer Core, with the external GPU, with that 14-inch touchscreen, it's already, like, they make crazy good laptops.
Yeah.
They're the shit on Windows.
Raze Zero NVMe SSDs on that new laptop. Oh, yeah.
So let's mention that new Razer Blade Pro, 17-inch 4K IGZO sharp display, multi-touch, capacitive touch, 99% sRGB, friggin' craziness new laptop. Has a full-scale desktop GTX 1080 in it, not a mobile chip.
Well, they're not designating between mobile and desktop anymore.
Well, it's a straight-up GTX 1080 chip placed into the laptop, like lifted from the desktop card into the laptop.
Well, that's what the video showed. They also showed it CPU coming straight out of the desktop, and I doubt it's a desktop.
it's not. It's not a desktop.
Exactly.
CPU. But they do have
You've been marketed
up to 2 terabytes of NVMe storage.
Oh, Raid Zero, dude, that's so fast.
Yep.
So fast.
Crazy Eye battery, gigantic touchpad, which is really awesome,
on.
and a mechanical keyboard.
You listen just as well as my 6-year-old. Could you imagine?
I'm busy. I'm excited. I can't imagine. What can I imagine?
No, why don't you go ahead and get like the cheapest one you can with the small storage? Go ahead and pull out the NVMe storage, place in 2 of the new 960 Samsungs. Oh, fuck.
But this,
fudge.
with the lowest storage,
We have kids listening.
the base price for this laptop is $3,700, I believe.
That's bitch change.
Couldn't this have come out sooner? I was just shopping for a laptop.
Plus USB-C Thunderbolt 3.
Oh, I know.
40 gig dual directional. Plus, it should support the Razer Core, so you could actually SLI GTX 1080s off this fucking laptop.
I don't know how that would work. Would it SLI though? I don't know if it would.
What? They shouldn't. Technically, they shouldn't have. Does
Because
do they have switchable graphics? They shouldn't have switchable graphics with a
bet you-
discrete GPU. Would they?
I mean, it's going to switch between the built-in Intel. And,
You know what? It would have an Intel integrated.
yeah, the Iris. That'd be actually really interesting. We should buy one for the podcast and test it.
I know,
Wait, we don't
guys.
have money because we don't have people donating.
We're sponsors.
So, actually, that is something that we can talk about quickly. If you're interested in donating, to Nerds of the Roundtable podcast so we can do great reviews. Because we're going to do reviews
And help with video and
Because we're going to do reviews of our own stuff.
Yep.
Because let's be honest, we buy some nice stuff.
Yeah, and we buy a lot of shit. Technology is a very addicting medium.
We don't buy mediocre stuff.
That's true.
We buy I feel like I personally am a average to above average enthusiast. I wouldn't say enthusiast. Yeah, I'd say enthusiast. Yeah. So, like, for example, keyboard. I'm not going to go for the most expensive keyboard out there.
I went for the most expensive
I know.
keyboard out there.
But I'm going to go for what fits my needs the best, that has everything that most things are going to fit everything in my life. Gaming, working, whatever. Without being too, like, gamified or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's, if you guys want to see more of that, if there's specific things that you want to see us test short term, long term, just let us know. Send us a message. I can put a donate button onto the website, just as click, and you can help us kind of fund the podcast so we can do some great stuff.
It's interesting. I think Jacob's a combination for both because for Jake,
He is.
You have a monoprice mechanical, right?
I do.
Ooh.
But you have a Founders Edition GTX 1080.
I do.
So it's like
In a Mac Pro case.
So you like paid the extra $100 for the Founders Edition card. So you're going to the top of the line, but for the keyboard, I mean, it's probably a fucking awesome keyboard because it's mechanical.
what was it, like $50?
Hold on. I didn't pay an extra $100 for the Founders Edition.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
That was a confusion on everyone's part.
Because the partner cards came out at the same price?
The MSRP was $100 lower, but no one actually sold at that price. There was no $100 less card that you could buy. You can only buy partner cards.
At least that you wanted to buy.
Yeah. The partner cards are better, and there's nice stuff and this, that, and the other.
Oh, yeah.
They're just overclocked.
You weren't
Like the
paying
EVGA
$100 simply
for the
for
win?
it to be a Founders Edition.
Oh, that EVGA for the win card is really good.
EVGA
It's
makes
really
good video stuff. So does Asus.
So,
But that's my interesting thing for Jacob. It's like, yeah, both that high end plus the Vive got the Vive on the high end on the VR, but probably like intelligently balances only going to that high end when you need to.
I have a micro ATX motherboard.
well, and that's what we're gonna wind up doing is like I'm gonna do a review on my keyboard. Sean's gonna do a review on his keyboard. Jacob's gonna do a review on his keyboard, and then we're gonna do a review compared to everything. Where all three of us gonna stand in front of the camera and do a back and forth of why this, why that type thing.
Yep. Which is rough for me because like one of the things for the K95 RGB that I have versus something like the K70 is it has all the macro keys. So it has all the pre-programmed like 18 macros on the left side that expand out the keyboard and gives you more options. But I've never programmed any of them and I've never used them. So I could have gotten the K70. I didn't need the K95. I don't use these presets or these macros, but they're available if I want to. I'm sure I can be badass and make it happen, but I just haven't found the application where I really need to use them yet. Pardon. Coughing. I don't know, what else will we review? I mean, Jacob, will you be able to do a HTC Vive review with your setup?
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
I know you've had some very positive impressions.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's stellar.
Stellar.
I've personally experienced the Gear and the Vive and the Oculus, and I'm not trying to sound like a fanboy, but room scale is pretty cool.
Indeed. I'm also excited for, maybe I could pick this up. I'm thinking about picking this up this year, and then I could just log in through, or you can log into my account. But another thing in the news this year is, the news recently, the NBA just announced that for the NBA League Pass subscribers, so the people that have basically the NBA digital subscription that lets them stream all the games, there will be a game broadcasted in virtual reality, a game a week for the entire season, consistently. which is going to be pretty freaking awesome.
Now, is this actually virtual reality or just 360 video?
It's basically 360 video, but it's in specific points on the court. So they have like a 360 camera set up at specific locations that you can jump to on your own. So you have full control of where you are to specific points. Kind of like how, the VR experiences use teleporters a lot.
Yeah,
it's like that.
But as nice as 360 video is, if it's not also stereoscopic.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is. Oh, so it is. It is actual.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
It's just not. You don't have free form. Just move wherever the hell you want.
Well, yeah, obviously. I thought we're talking.
Yeah, but supposedly what already happened is the NBA did a half-hour special on the NBA Finals in VR. That is supposed to be one of the best things that exist in VR. I saw the trailers and it is incredibly badass. It's stuff where it's like, they have cameras set up under the hoop. They have cameras on the backboard. They have cameras on top of each hoop. They have like sidelines. They have huddles. They had like so many angles. It was the NBA Finals, and it's supposed to be incredible. And it was kind of a test of doing kind of a full-length VR video session. So it's like a TV episode. It's about a half hour showing that you can do kind of long stream VR for this medium. And it's supposedly pretty amazing. Which is why, Jacob, we need to experience your VR.
We do.
When's that going to happen?
Soon.
How soon? I need answers.
Right now. Road trip.
Oh my god.
So, I'm so excited where the podcast is going. Oh, we have so much to do. And Christy's poor.
How about me?
Anyways, so Jacob, is there anything specific that you'd like to see happen to the podcast?
No, I'm pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you excited to do reviews?
I'm excited to do reviews.
I think it'd be good.
I could do. I like having an opinion. I'm good at having an opinion.
Take a look at what some of the scripts I've started, and see. Because we started a document to see what we wanted to do reviews on,
Okay.
and the status of those, so we can start recording once the camera comes in.
Yeah, yeah.
Sean's gonna do editing. He says
Oh yeah.
he just needs to actually do it.
Which is going to be nice because I have that Haswell E 6-core 4.3 gigahertz processor, 32 gigs of RAM.
Well, for now.
For now. No, I will have that for a good long chunk.
Until a better one comes out.
Well, no,
Actually,
because he wants another 16 gigs of RAM or 32 gigs.
gigs of RAM. Oh, okay, yeah. For now, for RAM, because I'll definitely double up my RAM, bump it up to 64.
Hell yeah.
Or maybe
Dominator Platinum.
never.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, so expensive.
You have to though.
So expensive.
Why would you get anything less than the best?
Stop that.
Come on,
Seriously.
Sean. It's who
Because
you
then
are.
you'll just be wanting the best.
Yeah. You'll
Actually,
compare yourself to other people.
I'm on my plate for the future is to build a secondary computer specifically just for gaming.
Yeah.
So I might take the RAM.
So gaming and streaming.
Yeah, so I've separate like a workstation versus pure gaming.
Yeah.
Then I'll route my gaming PC into my streaming PC to do like Twitch streams. But I could potentially take the 32 gigs of Ripjaw 5 out of my current workstation type build, put it into my gaming build, and then populate my workstation
128.
with 128
Of course.
gigs of RAM, that DDR4. That I could do.
Sean,
That'd
we
be
love you to
exciting.
death, but damn. All right, well, let's get to the main event. We've digressed long enough. It's been 30 minutes, I think. Google. Wow.
Okay,
Google.
so it happened.
Hold on. What order should we go in? What least exciting to most exciting? Pixel phone first.
That's not the least exciting.
I think the Wi-Fi is the most exciting because I love Wi-Fi.
That's true.
That Wi-Fi, man. That Wi-Fi.
Well, since we mentioned the Roku's earlier,
Hold on. Should we go before we go into any of it? that new network switch. Who makes that?
Oh, the Asus one with the two 10 gig ports?
Yeah.
Oh, for $250?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
First switch that has 10 gig ports on it, under $400. Two 10 gig ports. What was it? 8 1 gig ports? Yeah. I think it was 8 1 gig ports and two 10 gig ports.
How much is it? 250? You said?
Yeah. I don't know if it's managed. I think it might be unmanaged.
Still, for that cost?
Yeah. That's really
That's
good.
attainable for
Oh,
a
yeah.
home enthusiast who's,
Oh yeah. If you've got like a server and like what I was thinking was between my server and my computer that I do ripping and stuff from having the 10 gig links, then everything else is the just gigabit. Be perfectly fine. No, 100% no issues. But for the I don't need 10 gig. 10 gig.
I heard 10 gig.
10 gigs. I don't need 10 gigs to do transfers. I can do that. All I have to do is I don't need to buy a switch to do that. I can just do two 10 gig cards between the two and be done with it because they're right next to each other. Everything else can be 1 gig. And with the access points that I want to get, I can go ahead and get the same manufacturer for the switch and management software and be able to do VLANs and QoS and all that management type stuff.
So if that's the case, then what would be the point of buying a Switch with only two 10 gigs if you could realistically just connect the two together in any scenario? Would it only be if they were too far away, or why would you need a Switch at all at that point?
Like if I had the server downstairs, I would 100% do it. 100%. But since I get the server upstairs, I mean, they're 2 feet apart. There's 100% no reason to spend $250 on that, especially when
Except
it
that
doesn't
it's
do
awesome.
PoE. Because I can get a PoE switch the same price that does VLANs, that does everything else. That's the same manufacturer that wraps it all up in the same software as the access points that I want to get. And so there's no use spending that money into that. You know?
But with how many 10 gig ports?
No,
Well, it
I
wouldn't
don't-
have 10 gig ports.
I
So you
wouldn't
go
need-
direct with separate NICs.
Yeah.
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 You just
So
have
it's
to-
even, half as much.
They have to make sure that those NICs are on a separate subnet than your standard NIC.
Yeah, which is fine. That's super easy to do.
Oh yeah, we can handle.
I can handle those
We
NICs.
can handle some subnets and some multiple NICs all
Oh,
day.
yeah. Which my computer may like a little bit more, but we'll see, and maybe in the future, dreams. And
Dreams.
it may be, for now, I just do in between, and then in the future, once I get my own house, I do 10 gig everywhere, just get a 10 gig switch and just say 10 gig for all.
You got a lot of that Cat 6A. Cat 6A past 10 gig, or we need to Cat
yeah.
7?
No.
Cat 6A will do it?
Cat
And you got a
6A.
lot left over, too.
650 megahertz. Oh, yeah. That's why I got it, was to do 10 gig network. Future-proof, mother.
That's how you do it. I need some of that Cat 6A.
I'll cut you off some.
I need to run wired to my laptop. Right now I have a tri-band AC from wireless from a beastly Asus router to my computer in my bedroom. And it does really good, but I'm not getting the full upload
Yeah.
that I should be getting from it. So my Plex can, for other people, not be as reliable as it should be. So I want to get a wired connection from my router
Especially if
to
you're
my
gaming.
bedroom. Oh yeah, while I'm gaming, I see the hit
Well, and that's,
very obviously.
I had a AC access point downstairs, dual band. Then I had a bridge upstairs. It was Asus, does AC, so it does dual band at the same time, simultaneously, both AC and N, connects to both and transfers over both, which is fantastic. And I was getting 10 millisecond response time. Now I'm getting like 4 to 8-ish range
So sick.
doing wired. It's amazing the difference, but it's amazing how good wireless is now, especially when AD's coming out. Anyway, we're digressing heavily.
Wait, no, because Netgear released their first AD router,
Oh, that's
Nighthawk
true.
X10.
That's true.
Tri-band, so it is the 2.4 gigahertz,
Ooh.
2.4, 5 gigahertz, and
Yeah.
60 gigahertz. That 60 gigahertz band is at 4,600 megabits per second.
Still wired all day, man. If you can manage it, just wired.
The thing with when you get the frequencies that high, this is the same thing that happened with Sprint's WiMAX network. Like
Yeah.
the first 4G network that existed was from Sprint. It was under WiMAX instead of LTE, so it was more of a Wi-Fi based standard. But the higher the frequency bands you go, the less penetration through walls you have.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to disperse through spaces. So like something with the 60 gigahertz band, you really want to be in the same room or just an adjacent room, the same open space. If you're on like a separate floor or in a room with closed doors or somewhere else, that 60 gigahertz is not really going to reach you. You're going to have incredible speed, but it is going to be kind of local speed.
Yeah. Like right now, we're in my living room, which is down the hall from where I have my Wi-Fi router. Mm-hmm. And I'm between 2 and 3 bars.
Of Wi-Fi? Oh, actually, my
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is not all the way up either.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going through a 1/2-inch wood door.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else between us and it. Maybe, what, 20 feet?
Yep.
And the signal drops significantly. It's going to be much better here in the near future.
Oh, yeah, once you get those access points
Oh, yeah.
loaded up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
Oh,
know it.
yeah.
I'm still getting 107 on my phone. Oh my God, this upload. Oh my God.
Are you on the AC? Are you on
sure I am.
Which one are you on?
I
got-
have 107 down, 105 up. God, I fucking want that. I'm on Johnson 1.5G.
Oh, you're even on the slow one.
But still, 100 dual.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
pretty
I
good.
get
That's
two-
okay.
I get 200 down at home, but my upload's so terrible. It makes me so sad. Jake, what internet provider do you have?
I have Charter.
Charter?
Charter, yeah.
That allows you to have what?
I don't know because right now I'm piggybacking off of my landlord's Wi-Fi. So I have terrible internet. Not terrible.
You want some
unreliable.
shielded Cat 6A?
No, I'm just gonna. I have a coax run to my house. I'm just gonna call them and open up an account just for me.
Oh, okay.
So
That's a good decision. That way you get a discrete line. You have full connection.
yeah,
speed.
I have a modem and everything. I had my own for a while, but
Yeah.
I was trying to save money. I just need to open that up. And
Yeah,
stop
now
being
you're
lazy.
a baller, so it's like,
You know.
fuck
yeah.
that money.
Yeah, right. Something like that.
Something like that. So, gentlemen,
Google, go ahead.
on to the main topic. So basically, everything that we said last episode that we expected to happen did happen, besides Andromeda, which was their kind of their Chromium Android hybrid OS. They did not demo. Everything else pretty much happened. So we did get that Chromecast Ultra. So that's going to be $80, $79.99, I believe. But what's awesome for that is it actually supports HDR10. So it's going to be 4K HDR off of a $70 streaming stick, which is freaking amazing, which is better than Roku's 100 and way better than Apple's non-existent. Even though when it does exist, it'll probably be 200 because they're into themselves and they think they can get away with that shit. But that was pretty awesome. Pre-orders are now live. It hasn't shipped yet. Ships November, I believe. Daydream VR headset got announced. It actually looks way better than I thought it would be compared to something like the Gear VR. Actually, there's a lot of very small, subtle things that make it really cool. It was mostly designed by actually like a... I think they said, "Ooh, what is that speed you have right now?"
I just switched to the AC network, and it's 150 down by 175 up. God, I love FiOS.
So beautiful.
So worth the money.
My God.
Anyways.
But if I can get to that.
I digress.
See, that's a challenge. Before I jump back, that's like a struggle for me. I'm looking into my next apartment. I'm looking into moving to a higher end place in Anaheim, which is where I'm currently located. But all of Anaheim is still Time Warner, so I'm still stuck with this. I mean, I have a 200 down, 20 up. But that 20 up is just, it just doesn't get it done. It's just brutal. I'm just disappointed with it. Download's amazing. Upload, no. But here in Huntington, which is where we're recording this now, FiOS is available. I can get up to I think a 500 is their max, but it's too crazy, stupid expensive. It's like $380 a month, something like that.
Worth.
But I think a 300 is like 160. So still pricey, but that would be amazing. More price competitive, though farther away from us, is in Irvine. AT&T has a gig power network, which they call gig power. This is gigabit internet, gigabit down, gigabit up, for $90 a month. $90. Google Fiber, which is gigabit up and down, is $130 a month, but it includes full TV. So it's all their broadcast TV channels. It's not just internet. So gig power is cheaper than Google Fiber, but doesn't include TV. But who uses TV? So, but still, that's my dilemma right now. Should I move to Irvine, which is a good distance away, to have gigabit Ethernet?
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Could you imagine that ping?
Oh, plus
Your ping would be 1.
all my Plex server. I mean, I could
Hold on.
stream at original at
Sean.
all times.
Did you not see? 2 doors down is for rent.
2 doors down.
2 doors down. Get that fiber right now.
I know, but it's not gigabit.
And 2 doors down for me. Imagine the food you'd eat.
You need like a king.
You'd be so fat.
That's true. I'm already so fat.
No, but he'd make you go to the gym too. You couldn't run. He'd walk over, knock on the door.
That's true. I'd make you run. Be like, oh, you want some bread I just made? You better run.
Do you make bread, Eric?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, we gotta
Oh,
talk
from
about that.
scratch.
Oh, I haven't. I
My
love
bread is baller.
bread
Or-
making is a serious passion of mine.
I think, or Eric has made, what was it? It was the English muffins from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
That
My
was-
English muffins are really good,
That was
too.
pro shit right there.
Yeah.
Have you done the what is that? The knotted bread, the challah?
No, just do like a classic kind of. It's almost like a sourdough, but it's more just kind of like a traditional white.
Do you keep a
Delicious.
starter in your fridge?
No, I just do one every time I start.
Yeah.
I know. It's so
Now I'm
good.
thinking about bread.
Oh, it's so good.
So-
So I do like olive oil and thyme.
Ooh, that does sound good.
So good.
We should start a bread podcast.
Oh, you should try the olive oil I've made. I have like a seasoned
You
olive
made
oil.
your own olive oil?
It was seasoned olive oil.
Ooh, do you have bread?
I've kept it going for probably 6 or 8 years now.
Really?
And just like I have like the same like internals, and I just keep adding olive oil as I use it. Oh, it's so good, so good. Not to toot my own horn. Oh yeah, listen to that beer pour. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so much better on video.
So,
Sean, you need a boom mic,
I know.
not this old desk shit.
Well, it's what I use at home.
That's fine. You can do whatever you want at home.
All right.
We're legit here.
So, real quick, cool little things for
So much
Daydream
distractions.
VR. Back to the main topic. Really awesome for Daydream. It was actually designed by, I believe, a shoe manufacturer.
What?
For the materials and the
okay.
way it fits
Yeah.
and the components, the way it's put
You
together.
put a shoe on your face?
A little bit. Materials are really awesome, very comfortable, very lightweight. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of small tech that's in it.
Uh-huh.
That's really cool. So it has NFC reader on the lid so
Cool.
that it'll trigger your phone into the VR mode by itself. So like on the Gear VR, you actually have to enter like Gear VR mode before you even mount your display. This one, you just drop in your phone, close it up, NFC automatically launches the app.
Yep. Makes sense.
Also, what's really cool is the front of the VR headset to where you pull up your phone actually has a couple capacitive points so that it can tell your phone exactly where center is, so you don't have to readjust your phone to get to focus.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So you put an NFC on the back to launch the app. When you close it, it has the capacitive, so it auto centers itself so that you're immediately in focus. There's no dicking around with your phone like left and right or up and down or doing anything to it to make it be a perfect like VR vision, because your phone knows where the center point is.
Well, and I guess that's my issue with these types of like half-ass VR experiences is there's actually a really good video that Linus Tech Tips just did like a few days ago about did price kill VR? I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And where a true VR headset is $600 to $900, right?
900 after tax and shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Plus the computer.
if we can mention that, the Oculus Touch controllers got announced $200. They're up for
Yeah.
pre-order. So it is the exact same price as the Vive
Yeah.
without room scale.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the controllers are really cool.
They
Not
are
gonna
cool.
lie. To be honest.
But
what you
still.
can do with them is really awesome. So moving past that, but the point, that having to spend $900 on the headset
Without
plus
the computer.
$1,600 plus on the computer.
$1,200, I'd say.
Okay, whatever range you want to call it.
You're looking to spend
$1,000 plus.
$1,000. You can maybe squeeze by with less, but you will not be future ready.
Yeah, and that's plus. I don't know if that's probably not taking into consideration peripherals like keyboard, mouse, monitor, stuff like that.
OS.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money versus if you've already got the phone, all you're buying is $100 headset.
Yep.
But it's a-
VR's 80.
It is a terrible experience, and that's comparatively.
Comparatively, of course.
Yeah,
And
the
that's-
Gear VR was okay, but that is such a heavily tightened ecosystem and designed very specifically for just an okay experience. I don't know if it was, I bought one of those.
Did you?
Like a little cheap VR headset. to
Oh, yeah,
use with
you
my
bought a
Nexus
China one.
X.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I said Nexus 6. I meant Nexus 6.
we didn't
You
catch
know.
it. It's okay.
Well, someone was going to catch it. And it was disappointing, but it gave just enough of a taste to make me want to spend way more money.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the difference is like someone like you know what's out there past the Gear VR versus 80% of the people, they hear advertisements about Gear VR. This is VR. It's immersive. It's awesome.
That's the thing, though. I'll tell you right up, as nice as VR is, VR in any capacity is 100% separate from room scale. And
Yeah.
small room scale is 100% separate from full size room scale.
Yeah.
And when I have you guys over to try it out, anyone that's done it will understand that the whole, phone to Gear to Oculus is a great experience. It's super cool. It's, oh wow, this is so neat. But when you do a big, 3 meter by 3 meter plus room scale experience, it is mind blowing.
Yeah.
It is
far
it is a
beyond.
new level beyond what you would think.
Yeah.
And
And the technology is only going to get better because right now you have what's a great thing about Gear VR is you put your phone in a headset, there's nothing else.
Yep.
Versus now you have this tether coming off your back and all this other stuff that you have to worry about trying to get set up just to do it. Versus Gear VR, you put your phone in the headset, you start playing.
Pretty much. Yeah,
I
so
think
that'll be the Google Daydream experience.
Well,
will
just
be
in general, yeah.
dropping it in, putting it on, you're done.
Yeah, the mobile VR experience.
I think what's actually going to be probably the winner for us, because right now the biggest application for VR is video games, even though I think it's got much bigger applications right now.
Oh, yeah.
The people buying it are gamers. PSVR sold over 50,000 units in the first 3 days in China.
Well, that's going to be really interesting, and I think PSVR brings a whole different thing to the game. Being able to do the asymmetrical gaming experience with, you have someone in VR, and then you have people on the couch experience a slightly different portion of the game to help you play the game. And I think that's going to be really cool in a niche market for them, and it's going to be cool on the interactive part.
Last I checked, though, PSVR had like a small, like a horizontal only room scale.
It doesn't really
feature
have
to
any
it.
room scale.
It's
at
not
all.
room scale, but you could walk left and right, I believe.
You really have to sit down.
Really?
In the
it's seated?
manual, it tells you.
It's recommended.
It tells because it doesn't actually use like real IR tracking. It does video tracking.
But it's got the move controllers.
Yeah.
But that's just to watch light, and it does video processing based on the scale of the orbs. So like with Vive or Oculus, they have IR fields like Kinect that accurately track depth. The PlayStation Eye camera is just a video camera. It's like a webcam. So it actually just tracks the size.
Yeah, how many pixels it takes
location.
up.
Oh,
and-
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was
the
saying, though,
orbs.
is it was a horizontal room scale that
Yeah.
left and right and forward and center to an extent, but not something like the Vive where you have
nowhere
sub
Yeah,
millimeter
micro, yeah.
accuracy.
Nowhere close.
And that's the thing is, and that's what I hope is like these experiences that are $100-$200 range get people go, oh, this is really cool. But then
Exactly.
refer to podcasts like ours or Tested or any of the other ones on YouTube and see that, okay, this is only the first step to get my feet wet into a really cool thing.
Yep.
And go, okay, I need to start working towards this super immersive HTC Vive type realm because it's going to be awesome. Because you have people like, was it Intel or GTX that was making, or NVIDIA that was making the VR backpack? This basically computer backpack.
I think MSI made
MSI?
made that.
Oh, yeah. MSI. I mean, these types of innovations, and eventually, Intel's coming out with their VR headset, and people are saying that it's really nice because it's cordless, and the way it's not like this super heavy thing on the front of your face that's strapped. It's balanced well. That's just sitting there.
Actually one thing to mention about the PlayStation VR is people have said that hands down, far and away, it is the most comfortable VR headset.
Yeah, they
that
have a
exists
lot
in the
more
market.
funding than
Which is a
anybody
big,
else.
that is a big thing, by the way. That is the biggest
Yeah.
limiting factor when you start playing with the Vive is
Getting
you
used
have-
to that.
Well, that's the thing.
you have to build your tolerance both in being in the VR experience and having something in your face.
I'm
takes
excited to
time.
try. And
Yeah.
this is all coming from a guy that I haven't tried it. Sean hasn't tried it. I mean, the most I've tried is Google Cardboard.
Well, I've worn Sony head mount displays before, though. Like they had, Sony's been making head mount displays for like 5 years now, and they have a theater view head mount display. You can go to
Yeah.
the Sony store and try out. So I've worn that before, and supposedly the big thing for the Sony VR is all the tension. I guess the way it mounts, it puts force more on top of
temples.
your forehead,
Yeah.
than it does on the sides of your face. It's
Yeah.
not like
Suction to your face.
ramping this on there. And they do say that it has more light leakage than other comparable headsets, so it's not quite as immersive, but you basically don't even know you have it on.
Yeah. And I guess Jacob can speak to more of this than I can, but you have... I could understand, like, the first time you being in VR with something that's especially zero light leakage, that it is almost unnerving. That you're just like, I don't know what's going on around me. I know that I can't see. But it's like wearing a blindfold. And so it's really unnerving versus having a little bit of light. You're like, okay, I at least know I'm in the same room type thing.
Yeah, it is, especially when you get in noise canceling headphones. I would compare it to,
Oh, that would suck.
honestly, to like any sort of drug, like alcohol or caffeine or anything, whatever you want to think of. In that the first time, when you drank for the first time, it really affected you.
Yeah.
And then the second time and the third time and the fourth time, you could drink more and more. There is a very noticeable tolerance to being in VR.
Yeah, you feel more in control.
The craziest thing about Seated experiences are nice. When you get into room scale, I will almost at this point not even bother demoing room scale to someone if the space isn't big enough. But what happens is when you reach this magic point, when you have enough space, what'll happen is, if anyone's not familiar with how room scale works, there's a chaperone, it's called. It's grid lines that will appear when you approach too close to real space objects. But when you have a big enough space, you will be playing a game and the chaperone grid will not come up for a while. And it is very unnerving when you've been playing VR for 30 to 45 minutes and you suddenly remember that, oh, hey, I'm playing
I'm
VR.
still in my living room.
I'm still in my living room, but you stop for a second because it's, well, hold on. I know I'm in my living room, but am I in my living room? And I know I will like get very nervous and I will start, walking very carefully, even though I know, the grid lines come up when you're going to approach the area.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've done stuff like, standing on a ledge and thinking that I'm going to fall off and walking very carefully on the ledge. It's
It's that type of immersiveness that, well, that's what we're going for, is that type of thing. But I'd really be interested in doing like a podcast like before and after.
Oh,
I think that'd
yeah.
be cool.
or video podcast showing us playing it. Even better.
That's gonna happen.
Can we? Hey, Sean, you're a video guy. If we put up a green screen in the background, can you do an overlay
I'm sure we can.
to show?
Well, Sean
the,
has to download software and
the
play with it.
video
Oh, yeah, I'll figure
feedback.
it out.
Yeah,
We got to get a
Should
green
look into
screen.
that.
We got lights.
because people do that on YouTube. They'll show
yeah.
they'll do a composite of them and then the game in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'd be
We can
interesting.
make that happen.
Cool.
All right.
Back on to where we were, though. Google Daydream has that opportunity that people, since it is something built into the operating system, the chipsets are mostly standardized, and it is a core of standards. People that do buy phones in the future will have the ability to pay, however much they would like for this mobile VR headset. Like Google Daydream is the first headset, $80, but it is a base of standards. Samsung, HTC, LG, they can all come out with their own based on the same base standards and add more things like higher end headphones or, other additions to that system. But this is going to get the foot into the door for, hundreds of millions of people into that VR space that can then, if they want that ultra premium experience, jump into something like the HTC Vive.
Yeah.
But it's going to be huge because they have a lot of software coming out to support it. Android as an install base is the largest operating system for mobile phones in the world by, substantial numbers.
Yep.
So those getting VR experiences into the hands of that many people is going to be, it's going to be kind of revolutionary for starting the VR trend.
And, I feel like VR in the past 6 months to a year has kind of like fallen off. The kind of like, whoa,
There's
the hype
a
train.
lot of hype.
And which is, it's expected. But with this holiday season coming up with PlayStation VR, Gear VR, Google Daydream kind of starting up, it's going to start this new wave of people that aren't enthusiasts, that don't know VR exists or what it is, that have only experienced Google Cardboard or you hear about it. It's, it makes it accessible. And then they're going to be the next wave of people going, okay, well, I want a gaming PC. I want to try this next thing,
Really, I think in 2 years, that'll be where VR will start to hit its stride.
Yeah.
Because next year, every major Android release phone from LG, Samsung, HTC, all of them will support Daydream because they'll all be 7.1 Nougat OS. There'll be actual flagship PlayStation VR games at E3 in June that were released in December, and then Xbox Scorpio will come out holiday season next year. And that will be for VR experiences. So they'll partner with whoever they do and have a VR headset as well.
Yeah.
So that following year, 2018, I think will be incredible.
Yeah.
for
End of
VR.
2017, 2018 is going to be very exciting.
Really huge.
I mean,
for
even
VR.
this year has been really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, beginning of next year with new AMD hardware is going to be coming out, new Intel hardware's like their
always
TIC
coming
is going to be coming out. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, they're supposed to have the new platform. Well, this looks for me. LGA V3. Well, the LGA 2011 V3 supposedly is at an end with my chip. Well, with my chipset. Apparently, Skylake E is going to go to a new platform.
Oh yeah.
With like twice as many pins. It's going to be really crazy. It's exciting though.
Yeah. What else happened
Let's
at Google?
daydream. Well, we'll say for the wireless mesh network hubs that they have now, they released Google Wi-Fi, which is Wi-Fi access points. They sell for 130 each, or you can get 3 for 300
Yep.
even.
Really pushing the combo.
Yep, where you can get basically the auto mesh network.
Yep.
So you could just basically plug them in. They mesh network themselves. They hand off to each other. Everything's managed from an app on your phone. It was actually really cool when they demoed it. They had a parent basically launch the app. It showed them the devices on the network, and they were able to go to their child's like phone and pause the Wi-Fi access so they come down for dinner.
So I'm going to pause on that because I've heard that somewhere else too. It's like, okay, I can do that with Ubiquity too.
Yeah,
I did that. I did a demo of that with you. What, a year ago?
Yeah, so it's like that, but for a mass market and easy to use app, I guess.
That's the thing. It's like I feel like Ubiquity is mass market and easy to use.
Probably, but it doesn't have.
It's not.
It's not a multi-billion-dollar company that is Google that can push this into standard users. And if you walk up to a person on the street and say, "Hey, you know about Ubiquity?" 99.9% of them will say no. And then you ask, any person in the world, "You know about Google?"
Well, yeah, and
Yeah,
that's the
they
selling
definitely
point
do.
is you can buy a Google Hub, buy their mesh network, put it in a house, and you're done. Versus Ubiquity, it's like, okay, well, I need a network switch. I need I need a PoE network switch. I need access points. It's quick to set up. It's easy to do. There's a lot that you can do. I mean,
it's
you
an
set up
enthusiast
guest networks.
platform.
You can do VLANs. You can set up all types of different kind of parameters to make, super amazing. Which is I find awesome.
Oh yeah.
I can set limits on it's great. I can set a guest network. I can say, cool, I'm going to limit this to 5 megabits a second.
Such
Suck it.
a terrible person. 5, you tyrant.
All they're going to do is go on Facebook, right? They're not going to stream video. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot that you can do. I think Google they've got good timing because you have stuff like Eero that's doing ads for this type of mesh network. It's taken a long time for networks to get these types of systems to become easy
Yeah.
because routers, in order to do positive things within your home to positively affect the Wi-Fi access, has been super difficult.
Oh yeah.
I remember when I was in high school going, wow, our Wi-Fi sucks. I should chop the antennas off and make my own that are like 10 feet long. I mean, that was my solution. And doing the math, because I was in physics and I did math on what I should have those at. And it's like, this is stupid. Like, really? Like, why am I doing this? Why is this so difficult? But I also had it in my room, which was at one end of the house and on the second floor. So I'm like, I'm no surprise that the Wi-Fi sucked in the rest of the house. And it was a G network.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, this was high school. This was 2005 ish.
Yeah.
It was a Belkin though, quality. Yeah, it wasn't a nice Belkin, but it was a Belkin. So it wasn't a Linksys. Oh, dude, Linksys back in the day,
I know.
they were the shit.
It's cool
Ooh.
though. But these
Ubiquity Wi-Fi cameras. Have you seen
Ooh,
those?
I have not.
They got security cameras now. They also have a network DVR.
Pretty sick.
Dude, their network camera, it's smaller than drop cam. And it goes, and it's Wi-Fi. You just plug it in the power, and you can tie a bunch of them together into their DVR system. So it's off the internet. So it's not an Internet of Things. Which,
Yep.
if you've been paying attention to news, a state-funded operation was trying to hack into a bunch of Internet of Things devices this past week.
Yeah, they successfully hacked into a shitload of them and then used them for DDoS attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
it's pretty
times.
crazy.
Yeah. So if you notice that your internet was slow on Thursday,
Yep, hackers
Friday?
were fucking with you.
yeah, it was Friday, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah. But speaking of drop cams,
Anyways.
Google Home was also announced, so it's basically their competitor to the Amazon Echo.
Yep. I don't blame him.
Yep, it's the Amazon Echo has been very successful. It's an awesome
Very.
product, and it
Highly
is,
suggest Echo.
Google's basically their version of that, which also ties into Google Home, ties into their Google Wi-Fi, ties into everything, and that product is actually built on Google's new Assistant platform.
Yep.
Which has had very interesting kind of back and forth on it. This also plays into the Google Pixels. The thing for Google's AI assistant is
Here's some information about Frozen.
what?
Good job, Google.
Awesome.
Hey, Google.
I didn't get you that one.
Or okay, Google. Is it what's the
It's okay, Google.
okay, Google?
Jacob's phone activated a voice command,
Okay, Google.
and
Nope.
now it's not.
Wow.
It's supposed to be to his voice.
Well, apparently it worked
I'll
for
go to
you.
chat. Okay, Google. Oh.
Nope. All right.
So,
Hey Siri.
Leave it alone.
oh, no Siri either.
Hey Siri. Damn, she's ignoring me.
So,
Must be that time of week.
Google's assistant.
Hey Siri.
There it goes.
Slacking.
Well, thanks, buddy. So, as I said, Google Home, based on Google Assistant, same thing, kind of functions similar to Alexa. Google's Assistant platform has had some type of mixed reviews because people are kind of holding it to a very high standard. Google has the potential to know an incredible amount about you, and they have access to a shitload of information about you.
Yep.
And so they are expected to be at a certain level for their AI assistant. That said, the comparisons have mostly been to Siri, to where Google's assistant generally fucking slaughters Siri. I'd like to see more Cortana comparisons from Microsoft.
Yeah.
That's kind of been biased of people are comparing the AI assistants. Siri isn't really an AI assistant, where Cortana is built as an AI assistant, similar to what Assistant is. So like Google Now is more comparative to Siri, or Google Assistant is more comparative to Cortana, where Siri's not really on the platform level to where those are. At least from what my perspective on it is.
Yeah.
To where it seems like the general consensus for Siri is it's more of a voice command platform versus a natural chat platform.
Yeah.
To where like on Google Assistant, the assistant is aware of context based on what you say and what you continue to say, where Siri is based on kind of a per query question and answer.
It highly depends, and I think that's where the disconnect is Siri sometimes does that and sometimes doesn't, and that's the boundary that any of the AIs is trying to break through is this continuing, like, okay, cool, I got a text, and can I make an appointment for what I just got a text about? And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
And that's what-
that was one of the things on Assistant actually. Was from I was reading a Verge article on it. Was he tried to create a calendar event based on, I think, a show for a band, and the calendar prompt didn't pick up that he was talking about the previous band.
Yeah.
But what Google Assistant is good at is you could say, like, okay, Google, what year did Goodfellas come out? And it would tell you what year Goodfellas come out.
Yeah.
And you could say, who was the main actor, without saying Goodfellas, and it would answer based on your previous context, to where Siri would still expect you to continually say Goodfellas
Let's
with
test this.
that connection.
Google.
Put the mic up
Do
to
you
it.
actually have Assistant?
Okay, Google. Hold on.
Oh, it's not even working.
I'm glad I'm
Okay,
not the
Google.
only one.
Do you have Assistant, though? Do you have 7.1?
I have 9.10.
Wow.
The CEO of Google gave it to me himself, so shut up. Okay, Google. Yeah, the voice thing sucks. I need to retrain it.
Hey, Siri.
What year did Goodfellas come out?
Goodfellas was released in the United States of America on September 19th, 1990.
Okay. Let me see. Who was the main actor?
The cast of Goodfellas includes Robert
There
De
you go.
Niro, Ray Liotta, and others.
Yeah, that's
So
the
that's a
9.10.100 update, but you wouldn't have it because you don't know the CEO of Google like I do.
Hey, Siri. When did Goodfellas come out?
Looking for good. Movies matching good.
Hey, Siri. When did Goodfellas come out?
Goodfellas was released September 12th, 1990.
Who was the main actor?
Let me have a look. Here's what I found on the web for who is the main actor.
Useless.
Yeah, just a search on the internet for main actor.
Such a bitch.
So it's all the context-aware type things where it's supposed to be natural language conversation. But calendar events was one of the things that Google Assistant failed at. Was he went through, like, played a song, like used audio recognition for the band, asked who the main singer was, asked for their top songs, then asked for their tour schedule, which they got all the way to tour schedule, which showed local results for a tour, and then he could not add the tour date to the calendar. So it's getting there. It has a shitload of potential. It's the best for what it's doing by a big margin, but it can be better, and it's obvious it can be better.
Well, yeah, and that's what we'll get good at, and it that's why Google collects all this information off of us and be able to do stuff like this. And I applaud them that they're able to do this stuff. I mean, it's where we're going to go in the future. Be able to not be able to talk to a person and just say, "Hey, this is what I want to do," and just kind of go from there. So we'll see.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to wrap it up this week. It's a little long.
Oh,
I know.
we're so
Go
close.
figure.
Why do we always do this every time?
Because we have Sean.
And beer.
I get so excited.
Yeah, I know.
You actually have to get into the Pixel phones.
I see
Pixel
4
phone
empty
reviews.
beers in front of Sean right now.
That is true.
This is going to be more prevalent on video.
I know.
That's the only unfortunate part.
Because Pixel phones have had reviews published, and they are the shit. So we have
They
a
are good, yeah.
We have a good amount of stuff to talk about.
I wouldn't
on
say the
that.
shit. They are good.
They're the shit. You know it.
Compared
They're
to...
They're a shit, but they're not the shit.
They are very... I mean, they're... As any of the Google phones have been, they have been top par, high-end phones as every other... as they've been in the past. I definitely put any of the Google phones above Samsung and HTC in the past. I mean, in my opinion,
Yeah.
if I were
They're
to
all
buy...
bastardizations of Android.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now the Pixel is supposedly the first real Google phone. So it's under their control for software. It has custom software. their hardware design, supposedly. HTC's manufacturing, but
And that's fine.
This is supposed to be the first
how's that
made
different
by
from the
Google.
Nexus?
Basically, Google just has a contract for manufacturing, so they control all the
Everything
design
else.
elements, all the software. They
And
have a lot of
they
optimizations.
didn't do that on the Nexus.
Now, Nexus is like a partnership for a flagship device, so it's just a pure Android software load, to where these Pixel phones are Google's vision of what Android should be.
Yeah.
Period.
And yeah, I get that. And that's fine. And that's where I think between Google, Apple, and what's the phone that was exploding?
Samsung. Yeah.
Samsung makes some good phones.
They
I think
do.
their software sucks, but
I think they have
Their
really
software is
good.
the bomb.
They have really good the bomb. They have some really cool software, especially with the S Pen with multitasking. But to me, their design aesthetic is just ugly.
yeah.
I like HTC skins. I like Motorola's skins. LG's is pretty ugly, but they all have an Android base, so there's still a lot of foundation there.
Yeah, and that's where I'd rather have a Pixel, a Google-based phone, being able to get the updates when I need to, being able to have it slim as possible, not all this bloatware and all this other shit that, other manufacturers think that it's necessary or whatever. That's their own prerogative. And, I'm unfortunately never gonna, I don't think, sway away from Google unless they really do me wrong. I've never had a bad phone. I've never,
You mean sway away from Apple?
huh?
You mean sway away from Apple?
Yeah.
You said Google.
And you said Frone.
From,
Bro.
I never frown from their Googles.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that'll be an interesting thing to see. I mean, that's one of the things that I've argued for. I mean, I know we have to wrap this up, but for a long time,
You don't care.
I
You don't
know,
care.
I know. Is I desperately want
desperately.
to see Apple.
The new iPhone.
I want to see them do a market-leading, innovative implementation of something, to where it's, something that the market's not aware of, something that people aren't demanding or asking for, something that is not even if it's a better version, it's cool that they do a better version that everyone else has been doing for years, but I don't want to see them implement things that other people have been doing for years. I want to see them do something that no one's done, that is innovative, that fucking comes out of nowhere.
Okay, we're gonna have this argument now. To be honest, it's not gonna happen with any phone
Can
manufacturer.
happen.
No, not with any phone manufacturer.
They
Not
took out the aux cable. That was their innovative thing.
what?
Removing headphone jacks.
Congratulations, they hit delete on their CAD file, and that's fine. Whatever they think is the future, they're gonna push towards. If they're going to push towards, and I'm fine with going towards a tactile button versus a physical button. That's fine. I'm for that. I think that's a great idea, even though they've had issues with it. That's their prerogative. But hoping that they're going to have these huge leaps and bounds forward is just not going to happen. It's with anybody
Well,
at this
not
point.
huge leaps and bounds, just any type of. I'd like just to see them do things that are first. Like,
Why?
because I want to see them lead in a category instead of catching up on a category. Like, I want to see them.
Well, that's the thing, is they're leading on categories that just aren't headlines, and that's fine. I'd much rather have a phone that's well-rounded and does everything I want it to do amazing than just do one thing perfectly.
That
Cool.
is true.
That's great.
That is very true. 'Cause that was my summary of iPhone 7 was it does so many things well, even if it's not the best at everything. It does everything at such a high level that it's a cumulative sum of its parts to have an amazing experience.
And that's how I look at myself, is I'd much rather be good enough at a lot of things versus perfect at one thing.
The jack of all trades is the master of none.
And that's fine. I'm happy with that.
Although, I mean, their camera game has been on point for a long while.
Well, did you see the report on their screen on the iPhone 7? The best on the market.
No.
No,
Yeah.
It can't
they
touch
look
an OLED
really good.
display,
They look really
period.
good. They look
Note 5 has the best display on the market by a gigantic margin. Nothing's close to it.
I've heard it was the best.
No LCD pan. Technologically, an LCD cannot match an OLED, period. It's just
But on color,
technology.
and that's the thing is,
being,
it's fine. Just,
being calibrated to
being-
DCI P3 does not make something significantly
no,
better.
it wasn't DCI.
That's iPhone 7's color space is DCI P3. Yeah, that's their
It was-
expanded gamut. That's what their camera
This is
captures
RGB.
at.
Yeah, this Adobe RGB was a test I heard.
Don't think so.
This was a recent review that I heard.
Still,
It was the best on the market. It was astonishing by all counts by everyone who reviewed it. Anyways, so that's Nerds of the Roundtable this week. We're going to end it there. Agree to disagree.
that's why we love what we do.
It's a phone. People used to pick it up and say, "Don't call me anymore," and then hang up. So, God, I'm so excited.
Jacob's phone's so nice.
So much to do. So much. We have such little time.
I know.
I am so
We're all
excited to set
dying
up for
very
the
slowly.
podcast. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me look at the calendar. See when we get. Today's the 22nd. We should have the camera by next weekend.
So make that video happen.
Yeah, it'd be nice. We are already set up on the software side. We should be ready on hardware side. Actually, come to find out, the camera does Ustream, which means we can stream directly to the TV as a preview monitor. Hell yeah. So we need to talk about that kind of technicality stuff on what all we need and how we're going to do it. So join us next week as we dig deep into Nerds of the Roundtable.